All right. We're rocking, rolling, and loaded. Okay, switching over. In 5, 4, 27, 25, 22. Now, all right. Here we go, friends. I think that I actually set the title on this correctly this time. Yeah, I did. All right. So, quick recap. Last time, dang, I realize now I was kind of in a bad mood. I think I had just had one too many glasses of Dr. Pepper. Caffeine does eventually make me agitated. I have to have something like 400 or 500 milligrams worth. I think I have to get pretty close to the lethal dosage. But I do eventually get irritable. Anyway, on that note, let's pop a top, my friends, and have a cool and refreshing sip from our not a sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. Okay, so I might. Oh, I don't like. Oh, I hate this one. I don't like this one at all. All right, we're gonna change music here. Maybe hate is strong, but I don't want that one on repeat. Anyway, I might listen to some podcast here. The main goal of what I'm going to try to do is first actually get this merged into Webby, so we can Webby install -d and get the latest version and have a really clean and simple update path. Now, one thing I will say is that although I've gotten 3 reviews on this, because I thought this was pretty important to get both Will and JoJo on, Ryan, I think, probably just gave it a passing glass because he's not really in Dash. But JoJo did point out something that I realized was a complication. So basically, I'm going to move some scripts over. I'm kind of contemplating creating a repo, a Dash Core Utils repo, but I don't think I want to do that right now because I do want to get moving back on to what we really need to do, which is to create some tools for us to be able to interact with dashd-rpc. And although I went through that process of getting things committed to the Dash Core lib, or was it Dash Core node, whatever it was, I'm not going to use that because now, having gone through that process, understanding what I need to understand, I don't think there's any reason to continue using that. I think that dashd-rpc looks pretty good. It looks like it was designed pretty well and will suit my needs. And then the 0MQ, it looks like I'm just as well to use it independently. And I think I might give the 0MQ6 a try. I'm kind of a little waffly on that because it says it's still in beta. It's been saying it's been in beta for 3 years. That kind of makes me think that And the commits to the repository, they look like bot commits. They look like package lock bot commits from what I saw in CI/CD updates. So it doesn't look like there's been any real movement on it in terms of the actual code of the repository. Just looks like a bot has been keeping some CI/CD tasks up to date, and then a person is signing off on those or something. I'd have to look at it again to see what I think. But anyway, I might try the 0MQ6, or maybe not, because we're using 0MQ5 here. I guess it depends. I'll take a look and see what the API differences are. And I did find a workaround for the 0MQ problem. So anyway, that's all good. And I'm just going to do a little bit of tedious work right now, just moving some files over to a better place. Let's see, I don't need that. Do we need either of these? That is... Nope, nope. Dash core node. I don't think I gotta worry about that. That can go ahead and get deleted. Same thing here. And then the installers is what we're looking at there. That's good. And then I don't see... All right, we're going to get back to this Dash Merchant Services stuff, the real work. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and get this merged in. So I'll go ahead and copy this and start that. I think, yeah, due to something Jojo brought up, I think... Whoops. Oh, no. Is my internet gone wonkadonk? Okay, there we go. Let's see if it says it's gone wonkadonk. Because sometimes it goes wonkadonk for just a second or two. It doesn't say it's gone wonkadonk here. I get a notification saying the internet was disconnected for 1 second. I don't know what that's about or what to do about it or if to do anything about it. Anyway. Whoa! What happened that used up all the disk space? That's a problem. Oops. Let's see what else is going on here. Sort these reverse by size. Ha! I watched your blockchains are not decentralized video. Absolute technical blasphemy. Indeed. Indeed, it is blasphemy, but it's also the truth. So I'm not sure which side you're taking on that. But obviously, they're not decentralized. I hope that video showed that very clearly and simply. And I 100% agree that it is heresy. It's true, but not true. I mean, again, if you want to change the definition of things, then yeah, you can. If you say, all right, we're gonna build an airplane on the way down, falling off the cliff, but we're also gonna not call it an airplane. We're gonna call it a submarine because we're changing the definition of submarine as we're falling. Sure. Email is incredibly decentralized. What are you talking about? Email is absolutely decentralized. Now, there are some big players, such as Google, that most people are going to choose, but that's like saying most people are going to choose, well, this is not even analogous because they're not compatible, but well, no. So for example, okay, for Dash, most people are going to choose insight.dashd.org. That in of itself as a service is a protocol. It is completely not decentralized in effect, but in terms of it is decentralizable. It is a protocol. It does not require, well, it does, end up hooking up to a central authority in order to get the copy of the data, whatever. But insight.dash.org is what most people are going to choose. It doesn't mean that the API provided by insight.dash.org is in of itself inherently centralized. It's just most people are going to choose to use insight.dash.org. Now, part of what we're working on today is making it easier for people to choose other things, but most of them aren't going to. Most of them are going to stick with the centralized services that are provided out of the box. Okay, this is still too loud. Ah! There we go. Let me see if there's anything with gigabytes in it in here. $600 megabytes. Okay, we can get rid of that one. That's quite a bit. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of space free. Let me see if I can figure out what went wrong here. No. So, it's not that Google can interact with Yahoo. It's that you, as an individual, without any authority bestowed upon you, without any special access or grant of authority, you can start up an email server that will function just as well as Google's. Now, there's a lot of FUD out there that people throw out about, oh, you can't run your own mail server, only Google's mails are accepted. This is absolute garbage. This is absolutely not true. And if you look at the postmark guides, the reason people say that is because they literally don't follow the protocol. And the reason they don't follow the protocol is because there's a lot of bad tutorials out there, and so people end up setting bad options or not setting options that are necessary to set, and then their emails don't get through. But there is not a monopoly on emails being able to get through. Absolutely not. Anybody can send an email to anybody else, provided that you follow the protocol. I will grant that it is difficult to follow the protocol. If you're looking at the postmark documentation, their documentation is awesome. And they explain, here's some of the nuanced details, that if you set this option, your mail's going to get rejected. If you don't set this option, your mail's going to get rejected. So there's some stuff like that, but there is no authority over email. There is no single authority that in order to send or receive email, you have to appeal to that authority. There is no hive mind. There are blacklists, and you could acquire an email address that's on a blacklist, but that's a different problem. It is a problem. Let's see. 1.2 gigabytes. So this is 13 gigabytes. Where are all those gigabytes coming from? Something somewhere is creating a whole ton of... Oh, whoops. Did I accidentally install... No, it doesn't look like I did. .6 gigabytes in .local. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Alright, so I've got a lot of old Node versions I need to delete, it looks like. Okay, let me... rumrough.local, whoops. .local opt. I'm going to get rid of Node. And then I'm going to do... Oh, looks like I could probably get rid of some Zig too. Webby node at 14, node at 16, node at 18. And then I'm going to do my npm install with all the things. Once you sign up for email, it becomes centralized. Bogus. No, you choose what provider you want to use, right? So, for example, you personally might run a node. Most people who use cryptocurrencies have never set up a node before, right? And I think I explained this in that video. So you are signing up to some set of nodes. You are not running your own. You are not running independently. You are relying on a authority that was presented to you that you chose to accept. You chose to accept the authority of someone else's nodes. You did not choose to run your own node. So with email, you can choose to run your own node, or you can choose to run on someone else's node, and you can send emails only between nodes that you trust, or you can send emails to any nodes. And you can choose to never send emails to some nodes. That is decentralized. It is choice. You can reject all emails from Google. You can do that if you wanted to. You could exclusively only use other nodes that you deem trustworthy and never use Google nodes that you don't deem trustworthy. Now, is that going to limit your ability to transact with people? Yes. But it is decentralized. The nodes have... Look, there is no way for me to give you Dash. I can't do it. I have to go through a centralized system in order to do that. I have to connect to a central hive mind that is the authority, the governing body, and they have to ratify. I cannot privately send you something that's just between the two of us. And that I would say is the primary definition of decentralized, is that two parties can participate without involving any other parties. That may not, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the definition again to see if, can something be decentralized and still require... No, it can't. It can't, because if you require a central authority, you are not decentralized. So Dash, as far as the coin goes, Dash requires a central authority. We cannot do a peer-to-peer transaction. There are no peer-to-peer transactions in Dash. There are some things that we could do, but they're not verifiable. The transfer doesn't actually take place until it's broadcast. So I could peer-to-peer send you a pre-signed transaction, and you could trust that I'm not going to spend that pre-signed transaction before you do, which is kind of the basis of commerce. Is, you know, you have to trust that somebody's going to put the thing in the box and ship it to you. And you want to have some mechanism to be able to say, hey, it didn't get put in the box, it didn't get shipped to me, or what got shipped to me, what was in the box, was not the thing that I ordered. So that's where, if you do not trust, if you have a system you don't trust, then you want an escrow. You want a third party that you choose to broker the exchange so that either side can verify something. Blockchains can't do that. Just generally speaking, Dash has no way of doing that. Dash has no way of determining that value was exchanged. It can only check a signature. I have the choices server. Once I make the choice, they can shut the email down or hack it. I don't think you understand how email works. Because you can just have more than one email address. You can use more than one server. You can have software that connects to all the servers and tries different ones. But I mean, by the same token, Dash doesn't even use the domain system. It's using the IP system, which is completely centralized, authoritative, and there's nothing that you can do, right? If your domain gets blocked, it's not a big deal. You can just pick a different domain. You can have a plethora of domains that you rotate through, and you could set up different domains for different types of transactions. And people that you trust could have that list of domains, or they could have a subset of that domains, or whatever, right? But an IP address, once an IP address is blocked, that's it. It's game over. You can't select a new IP address, right? Now, in the cloud scenario, which again, you're not hosting it yourself, you don't own the hardware, you don't own the connection, you're not responsible for it. But in the cloud scenario, if you use domains, you can switch providers and you can keep that domain if an IP address gets blocked. But if you're using just IP addresses, you can't switch providers. There's nothing you can do. Once something has blocked that IP address, then you have to start up a new server on a new service with a new IP address, and there's no quick resiliency to that. If you're using the domain system like email does, if something gets, if an IP address were to get blocked, it's no problem whatsoever because you just change the pointer, the record, and you're fine. And if you want to switch service providers, you're not locked in any way because you just switch the domain. So that's something that Dash could do better. And I had argued for as part of this platform push is that before doing any of the nonsense with trying to figure out non-standard SSL certificates and, or TLS certificates, pardon my French, TLS certificates, trying to figure out some sort of non-standard way to do TLS certificates and blah, blah, blah. Just update the code so it doesn't block using domain names, because there's a resolve function. You pass in a string to the resolve function. The resolve function shouldn't care whether the string you pass in is an IP address or domain name. There should be no reason to restrict it to having to require only a centralized authority IP system being used. If people want to use an IP system, they want to take on that vulnerability and that weakness, let them. That's part of what being decentralized means, is that you let people do stupid things and make mistakes that harm them. That's decentralization is liberty. It's the freedom to do what you want, even if it's dumb. Your argument's bogus, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it. Or at least I don't understand your argument well enough. It seems like you're just grasping at straws. You lose value once you create multiple emails. Game over. Centralized. That doesn't make any sense. Email is a protocol. If you want to go... if you want to add a bunch of layers of theory and stuff onto things and say, oh, well, if you're looking at it this layer, you can construct a case where at this layer the system fails and it's less valuable. It's like, okay, well, then you add layer 2, right? Typically speaking, we don't type out people's email addresses. You save somebody's email address to your contact, and you see that, granted, this is a centralized technology. It only works on iPhone as far as I know. But on iPhone, when you send a message to somebody, you have the ability when adding a contact to say, keep this contact up to date, essentially, which is something that I wanted years and years ago. And it's cool that Apple added it. But now when you interact with somebody on Apple, it will give you the option when you start interacting with them. Do you want to share your information with them? Basically, do you want to share your contact card? And if details of that contact card change, if I remember correctly, it can actually keep it up to date. So you can get updated pictures, you can get an updated phone number. So if they change phone numbers, if they change pictures, if they change email addresses, there's another layer. And you say, oh, well, that layer is centralized. Okay. Yeah, in the current implementation, yes, we do not have a solution for that that's decentralized. I wish that we did. We do not have a push button solution for that that's decentralized. But what I'm saying is that the email address is not the important thing. The important thing is the contact. Usually, I don't know how you use email, but when I use email in every email client that I've used since like Juno or something, maybe didn't have it, or NetZero back in the day. I don't know if those had it, but every email client I've used since Hotmail, you start typing the name of the person and then it lets you pick what email you want to use to send to them. And so there's the domain system and the technologies that are built on top of it. Whether or not people take advantage of their decentralized nature, which often they don't because it's not as profitable, because for Amazon or Google or whatever to sell you on the idea of, hey, you've got a broadband connection, you could do all this stuff yourself and have 99.9% uptime reliability, you don't actually need us, we exist for no reason, that's not a really great selling point, right? But that's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, you have an IP address that rarely changes, maybe a couple of times a year. If you needed it to change for some reason, you could call up your ISP and maybe get them to change it for you. But, not from the perspective of it being resilient, but just from the perspective of, because it's not resilient. When you're locked into an ISP, ISPs are centralized. You do not have a choice of ISP. That is centralized. The IP system is centralized. But, in a non-adversarial condition, because the adversary is not necessarily going to try to hit you at all layers, or maybe it will, but whoever your adversary is, that the adversary, it can't be a magical creature that can just attack you at every single possible layer. You have to pick, okay, if you have an attack at these layers, you have some options at these layers. Anyway, point being that, if we wanted to use the internet the way it was designed, all the technology is there. We all have broadband. We can all get a domain name. We can all use dynamic DNS, even though it's not really that necessary anymore. Back in the old days when you did dial-up, you had to have dynamic DNS. Now, it's very rare, as far as I am aware, it's very rare for your IP address to change, unless you have a power outage that lasts more than 72 hours or something. How many times have email been hacked or compromised? But that's silly. That's like saying, how many times have people's wallets been hacked or compromised? The hack or compromise that happens in email is not because of email itself. 1995 aside, okay? Yes. But that applies to everything. Back before we had cryptographic standards, yes, anything could be hacked at any time. But let's put that aside. Let's assume standard email that is using Start TLS and all that, just in the same way that HTTPS is the standard for web pages today. HTTP is not the standard. It's a standard. It's the deprecated standard. It's not the standard. Same thing with email. The idea that you're going to send unencrypted email is just silly. Yes, yes, there are still some ISPs out there that send unencrypted email, but no major service is going to be sending unencrypted email, right? And if you were to do email in a box, one of those software packages, you're going to get encrypted email with that. And if you don't turn it on, it's probably not going to work. You're probably not going to be able to send and receive email, right? So, if you're talking about how do people get hacked predominantly through social engineering. Email isn't hacked by virtue of email having some special deficiency, right? Email is hacked by virtue of people are dumb and they don't read and they don't use critical reasoning. And in some cases, they don't have enough hubris. They think too little of themselves. They don't realize that they have something that someone else wants to take from them and steal from them. But anyway, this is... I think that email, despite its faults, which are many, email is pretty much the ideal system. Okay. Oh, actually, hacking Bitcoin has happened because just like Dash, it uses RIPE-MD 160. And that is a practical attack. The hashes are only 20 bytes. So this is the birthday problem. It is a practical attack against Bitcoin. And people do have coins stolen. It does actually happen. But it's at random. You can't target a specific coin and say, I'm going to steal that coin. But you can just generate public keys over and over again, and this has been done. This is a known attack vector. The reason that it hasn't happened in Dash, to my knowledge, is because in Bitcoin, a Bitcoin's worth what, $50,000 or $20,000 or $80,000 or $10,000 or whatever. Bitcoin is always over $10,000 pretty much, right? What is it? I don't keep up on that, but what is it right now? BTC to USD? $30,000, right? So the reason it's a practical attack in Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is worth so much that if you just are generating public-private key pairs all day long, because remember, did I say 20 byte? I might have meant 20 bit. I don't remember. But anyway, so the key itself is 256 bits, which is 32 bytes. That's the key itself, but the address, which is what you need to hack, is only, is it 20 bytes? I'd have to look at it. I think it's 20 bytes. And remember, when you're dealing with powers of 2, it's not that if you increment by 1, you're actually doubling. So 21 bytes is twice as much entropy as 20 bytes. 22 bytes is twice, actually it would be bits, so we'd actually have to do that a different way. It's every bit, so, sorry, one more bit is twice as much entropy as one less bit. So every byte you're doubling 8 times. So you have 8 doublings. So it seems like, 20 bytes versus 32 bytes, that's not a big deal. 160 bits, RIPE-MD 160 bits, 20 bytes, versus 256 bits, that's not even twice as many bits, but it's not intuitive in that way because every bit is a doubling. So it takes very few bits to become very, very, very much more secure. And since the hashes are not what's... the point being, you get birthday collisions, is what they're called, and you can steal money from people. But Dash is thankfully on track to be useful as digital cash. Hopefully it never hits 1,000 again. That would just be terrible in terms of Dash fulfilling its mission. Sure, it'd make a few people, a small handful of people, very rich, but then it wouldn't do any service to the world for being a digital cache. But anyway, so my point was that you're not likely to see this attack in Dash because the cost of it is worth it if it's Bitcoin. It's not worth it if it's Dash in terms of the computing power required to do those hashes. I don't know what point you're making now. Lol, you don't. It hasn't happened. It absolutely has happened. You know that Bitcoin has been hacked. This is a known, well-published vulnerability. Just because it doesn't have to do with email, it's possible. I don't know what that means. Possibility is way higher. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're talking about. Because encryption is the same, okay? Bitcoin has typically worse encryption than what you'd be using with email because the authors of Bitcoin chose to make up their own cryptographic algorithms rather than using standard algorithms that have been vetted by professionals because, and there's some truth to this, they didn't trust the professionals and so they went and made up their own crap. The problem is that the crap that they made up, as someone who has a naive understanding of cryptography, you can look at it and say, wait a minute, this makes no sense, the RIPE-MD thing. If you have something you know is more secure and something you know is less secure, and you use them in combination, whatever the weaknesses are in that system, your system is basically the multiplication of its weaknesses. Right? So say this one's strength is 0.9 and this one's strength is 0.7 and you multiply them together, or sorry, that's not how that works. What's the thing I'm looking for? Is it that you... So the point is that it's not like, yeah, because you get a smaller number. Yes. Any number under 1 you multiply together, you get a smaller number. Right? Yes, because yes. Okay. So that was correct. So you actually get the product, the multiplication of the weaknesses of the system. You do not get the additions of the strength. It's kind of like in parallel versus in series. So a lot of people don't understand that. Dash will surpass $1,000 for sure. I hope that it never does. That will be a terrible, terrible day. How would anybody be able to use Dash? How am I going to be able to buy lunch if Dash is at 1,000? I mean, just the mental gymnastics of figuring out like, okay, let me count up the 5 zeros here. It's just not realistic. We need, you know, and Dash being maybe $10, $100, great. Going above $100, it just starts to become mental gymnastics to try to deal with it. I mean, other than if we're counting for inflation, sure, right? If you say Dash is going to surpass 1,000 because inflation is going to get so bad that the dollar is just going to crash to nothing, and then when you go to McDonald's to buy a burger, it's $1,000 to buy a meal for your family at McDonald's, then yes, that's fine. But what I'm saying is if in order to do normal everyday things, you have to think about, 3 or 4 digits out of a fraction, that's not digital cash. I hope you guys are having a nice day. Thanks, That Onion. You're talking about one hack. No, I'm talking about a system of hacks. I'm not talking about one incident. I'm talking about a vulnerability that is well known. But again, it's like, what are you talking about when you say a hack? Because there's lots of different things that can be broken. There's lots of different problems in the system. I mean, there's ways to do double spend in Bitcoin. There's all sorts of things that if you're just looking at Bitcoin, you say, well, what can go wrong? There's a lot of things that can go wrong and that can be exploited. And then there's safeguards that you could put in place. So you say, oh, well, I'm not going to accept anything unless it has 10 confirmations on it. Okay. You can do that. And then you can say, well, it can't be hacked. Okay. But if your expectation is one confirmation, then it can be hacked, whereas Dash can't. And the chain halt proved that. What's the difference between 1,000 and 100? A lot. I'm guessing you don't use Dash to pay for things. You're not actually using Dash as cash. In which case, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care about your use case. Because Dash is only valuable if it can be used as cash. And if you're not using Dash as cash, then yeah, you're not going to notice having to deal with decimal places, whatever. But I literally don't care about your use case if you're not using Dash as cash. I don't want Dash's value to go through the roof. That would serve no purpose. Then it's just another gambling pyramid scheme, right? Dash's value needs to be stable, and it needs to be at a level where the things that people are going to want to buy and sell in exchange with other people have a number that can be represented in a reasonable number of digits. If I have to pay for something and I have to know, to the fifth digit, it's just, and if everything I pay for starts with 0.0, it's just, so if it skyrockets to nothing, to the moon, then it's like, the experience on that is just so terrible. Nobody's going to do it. So it's got to have a value where a Dash, maybe a Dash, I think somewhere between $10 and $25 is probably what ideally it would be. If it's 100, you can work with that because you can do fractions, but it's like one spendable unit. It's a Dash buys me a year of email, or a Dash buys me a decade of domains, or a year of domains, or one Dash buys me lunch. But you need to be able to say one Dash and have it do something useful. And then if it's, 1/10 of a Dash buys me lunch, that's fine. But if it's like, it's got to be in the realm that it can make sense to someone. It's not like I buy a house with a Dash and I buy lunch with 0.00015 Dash. Or I don't even know if that. Well, we can't limit the price of the coin. We just can hope that the investors get out and that it can. And that first we need to build an economy, and building an economy should cause the investors to want to get out, because if we build an economy and Dash becomes low risk, low reward, then hopefully the investors will get out and then the price would stabilize. But we have to have. Okay. You're talking about a vulnerability that has a 0% chance of happening. I'm not sure what you're talking about with the vulnerability that has a 0% chance, because the one I was talking about in Bitcoin doesn't have a 0% chance. It has happened. It's been done. It's documented. It's known. It is not a 0% chance. Hold on, there's a little spider or tick or something on my camera. I think it was a little baby spider. Oh gosh. All right, I'm done. I don't care anymore. I'm going to get on to I don't know. I'll finish with this. I don't know because I haven't talked with Joel specifically about this, but I'm sure that Joel is aware of the user experience problem of dealing with a currency where the price is different every day, and where keeping track of more than 2 to 3 decimal places becomes a problem at times. No, it's not about limiting the value. I didn't say anything about limiting the value. I'm just hoping that pump and dump investors don't drive the price up to 1,000. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we need to limit the value, because limiting the value would require that if we're able to limit the value, it's because we haven't built any economy. And in terms of the wallet software, come on, what has it been, 15 years? And the wallet software is okay, not 15, 10 years, and the wallet software basically hasn't moved the needle at all. It's like there's no affordances in the wallet. The wallet software has gotten worse in the last 3 years than it was 3 years ago. I mean, and the desktop software hasn't moved in 15 years or whatever it's been, right? The desktop wallet is absolutely atrocious. So the idea that you're going to fix it in the wallet, you've got hundreds of wallets that you'd have to fix. And I don't know. I mean, we need to get people off of all the junk wallets anyway, but in order to get people off the junk wallets, we'd have to provide a Dash wallet that's worth using. So far, we haven't done that. Well, Dash Pay with Dash Direct is all right, except that it doesn't have any of the features that people think that Dash has. There's no cash-like send ability in the mobile wallets, either on Android or on iPhone. And people think that there's some sort of enhanced cash-like send that's going to make it more difficult for malicious actors to track their transactions. In reality, that's never been implemented in any of the mobile stuff. So, this is, yeah. Anyway. Let me actually get to the meat here. Yeah, that onion, you got it. You understand me. We understand each other. Yeah, small fractions is impractical to use as cash due to the mental gymnastics. Makes it hard to grasp prices in everyday life, especially if it's unstable. Yes. 100%. That's what I'm saying. I thank you for reiterating that in a more clear and concise way. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm going to focus on this because I got stuff to do that hopefully is important. Okay, why is this coming up? What did I do wrong here? Okay, I don't know what I did here. Oh, I do know what I did here. Okay, restore. We're just going to call restore on that. Git switch, add -d. And then the thing that I needed to do here, there's probably a couple of other things that I ought to add to this, but we're going to do -d. I think I'm just gonna take all of these over into Dash. I'm gonna put them in Dash Core for now because I don't know where else to put them. I could put it in a Dash Core Utils. That might be a smart thing to do. Maybe I will do that. Maybe we'll put it in a Dash Core Utils, and then I'll have Dash Core install Dash Core. I'm just gonna do the simple thing for now. We're just gonna move those over. No, I am going to do Dash Core Utils. I'm going to do it. We're going to call it Dash Core Utils because it's not part of the official Dash Core. Or I could call it Dash Core Essentials. I'm not sure. Wait, why did that not work just to say... Oh, because I didn't put the star there. That's why. And at that point, then maybe it does make sense just to have... Let's go a different way. What kind of tools are you building? So I'll give you a link to the PR that I'm working on right now. So I already had this approved, but there were a couple of comments on it that, well, I guess I should tell you what it is. This is for installing dashd. So if you want to install dashd and you want to be able to keep it up to date, the broader picture is working on merchant tools so that people can accept Dash on their website. And we are actually building a hosting service that you'll be able to pay with Dash for the hosting service. So that is the most immediate target of this. We're also going to be doing domains and DNS as well. So my strong belief is that Dash is completely meaningless unless there's an economy. If all it's doing is Dash is just a way for people to launder Bitcoin, that provides no real value to the world. It makes it easier for governments to regulate and for scammers to scam people with. And that there's no value in that. That's meaningless to me. And I'm sure there are some... I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure there's any legitimate use case that you'd want to be swapping back and forth between cryptocurrencies. Other than if you're scamming people or if you're trying to create a situation that yields itself as an example for government regulators to say, look at this. Now that we've constructed this situation and we made it look like it's some bad thing, now we can regulate it out of existence. You know, that's like so much of the stuff that's gone on this past year has been like that, where it's obviously this was set up, this was contrived to fail in this way. Anyway, but we need an economy because all currencies are defined essentially by their exports. Oops. So, you know, oil used to be priced in the dollar. Now it's priced in the, is it rupee or ruble? You know? If a country has something, if a nation, if a people, let's say a people, that's the better term. If a people have something that they wish to export or that other people want, then the exchange has to happen on the terms of the people that has the thing. So the people that has the thing that others want, others have to pay in the way that the people that have the thing describe it. And so if we can provide far better services for a niche, then the people who are interested in that niche will pay in whatever way is required to pay to get that thing that's in that niche. And having censorship resistant services is something that in general is on the rise. And if we have an alternative that provides the needs people want, then people will pay in Dash to get it. So that's kind of some of the thought. Yes, that's why I see many crypto are meaningless, meaning cryptocurrencies, not meaning cryptography. And I would like to see some of them succeed. Very cool project. I'm glad you think so. I'm hoping that everything turns out well. So anyway, this little piece right here is just working on some installers so that not the thing that they actually put on their website, but that they have the option. Most people are going to choose the centralized option for convenience. Most people are going to go with the API service that is doing the majority of servicing the requests, because running a node can be expensive and whatnot, although we can make running a node less expensive, potentially. There's not as much as I would have liked with the current setup, but there is a setup where we could do something that would decrease storage costs significantly. But anyway, so these are so that if somebody wants to run their own node so that it can be a little bit decentralized in at least the respect that they're in control of their own node, although, their node, as I've argumented, has to participate in the hive mind, so it can't operate independently or do a useful, beneficial. It cannot provide any extra benefit to the system in this way, but it could provide benefit to them. Anyway, so this allows them to run it themselves so that they're not reliant on someone else's node in order to get the indexing services that they need. There needs to be an economy. It's not a matter of a stable coin, because a stable coin is saying we don't believe in our economy. We don't have any intention of creating an economy. We're going to pin ourselves to someone else's economy and their policies, and then it's all just gamed, and it's stable coins in general are worse than Dash because they are. Dash needs to become stable honestly, not through trickery. Okay, so Dash core install. Oh, whoops. I wonder if also I could just... I'm not sure what the right way to go about this is, but I don't think I'm quite there. Hey, that onion. Thanks for the follow. Alright, so I'm going to rename this from SSH utils, which I'm just copying because it's convenient, to dash core utils, which I guess there's only those two things. Maybe none of these actually apply, so let me just get rid of that instead. I'm not sure what the parent-child relationship should look like for this. Because there are some scripts that if you don't have them, using any of this stuff from the command line is kind of useless. My curl needs to not be there. There we go. This is probably what it needs to be. Okay, so we're going to have something where we could see, we're going to have the install is going to happen there. I think I will do this. Well, that's weird. Alright, what I'm going to do here is it's going to search for the commands -d and -qt. If either of them are not available, then it's going to try to install -core. And so both of them should try to do their install first, and then grab the other ones. And then we're going to have the -core utils, and I'll have to put up a little readme for the -core utils. And this way I can keep it kind of separate, but still have it install the things that it ought to have. Okay. Why am I still using Vim? I'm not trying to use Vim, I'm trying to use VI. I mean, VI is Vim, but I'm trying to get out of the habit of typing the characters VIM and just typing the characters VI, because I'm working a lot more on Alpine now. And on Alpine, a lot of times I just need to go in and make a quick edit, so I just need VI. But in any place where Vim is installed, VI is a symlink to Vim. So I would be better off in all cases just doing VI. I've yet to encounter a case where that's not the case. Yeah. Okay, VI, what else? -d install. All right, and then there were some things that I learned about that I need to incorporate into this as well. That's -d. This is the merchant services, -core node. So I may actually need over here, I think is where it has to be set up, -core, dash.conf. Going to swap out the IP addresses. So I want all of these to be in there so somebody can just do a find replace for 127.0.0.1 and then put in whatever they have. So that right there should do it. I'm pretty sure that's what this file should look like. Let's see. See if there's anything else over here. I think that I just copied and pasted wrong. I don't think that is right at all. That's probably fine. And then I guess it would be nice. I think that the test one is just ZMQ. I do want to find out what testnet is for, or what the defaults are for testnet. Dash.conf. Let's see if I can find the dash.conf. Here's the example. Okay. do want these. Do want to grab the full amount here. 1. Bind, RPC bind. Oops. No. 19899. I'm assuming that these are going to follow the same pattern, but I don't know what the 0MQ test port is. Dash testnet 0MQ. That was not helpful at all. All right, well, I'm not sure what to think of that. 9998. This is testnet. That looks right, I think. I'm gonna... Does anybody know what the default ports are for testnet, for 0MQ, and RPC bind? Let me see if I can find 28332. Is that what I searched for? What I really need is how can I miss search. I miss search. I miss when search was a thing. Two 28332. That's weird. Why does Command A keep on taking me to a different tab? Let's take main. Just posting this to see. I'm just making an sending a message to the Dash Discord here asking about default ports for these things. Because what I'd like to do is to have this set up with the default ports explicitly, because it's just easier that way. I don't want something that's similar. I actually want this exact thing. Thanks for writing so much. Gave me time to read while I waited for my watered down beer. Well, you're welcome, Mr. Nobody. I'm glad that you were able to get a particularly watered down beer today. I'm a little confused by this. So it looks like testnet port should be 18009. I don't know. That seems a little weird. Let me see if I can find anything about Dash. Yeah, you can ask off-topic questions. Ask away. Ooh. Oh, should I tap or click here? Ooh. Maybe I just need to... Oh, what's this? What's this? Okay, where did I get the 2833 number? ZMQ port. Okay, so I think this is wrong. 28332 does not match up with the documentation. So let me check on that. 28332 0MQ. Wait, this says Dash Pay. I am so confused. All right. I tried Dash Core. Dang it. This is just so obnoxious to me when I'm trying to select something. Instead, it's like, oh, you wanted to click that? No, not really. Did not actually want to click that, turns out. Okay, 3622. 36, what? I don't know what to make of this. These numbers seem random. LiveNet. Okay, that makes sense. What does this one say? LiveNet. All right. What does this one say? Looks like that's just picked at random. And again. And again. I'm going to try RPC bind, because maybe at the very least I can find that. And then if not, I guess I'll just give up. And then see if anybody responds. Okay. Every time I discuss YouTube streaming with other Twitch user streamers, we come to the conclusion that streams on YouTube are very hard to find and is a very difficult platform for smaller streamers. It looks like one would need a big following from videos beforehand. Do you have any takes or pointers on this? No idea. I currently am using Restream, and I'm going to transition to Outcast when it gets released. You won't find any information about Outcast because it's one of JoJo's projects. Well, I do have one more place to look for this. Was it? Dang it. Bit me. Bit me? So I'm not particularly trying to grow the channel per se. I'm just streaming. I don't have a good reason why I'm doing this anymore. I started out with a reason and I lost it, and now I just do it because it helps me to focus and stay on target. I need the soundbite for that. Stay on target. Stay on target. By the way, he dies. Just so we're all clear, the man who stays on target bites the big one. Just a pecking on the surface. So I don't know where the default port. Yeah, I don't see where a port is specified. Alright, well, I'm just going to get out of here. Just go ahead and paste these in here. And I'm just going to take some best effort guesses and run with them, since I don't know. And then I can fix it later. All right. And where was it that I found reference to 2009? Also, I think there are some typos here. Looks like maybe this was copy pasta from three, three, two. Alright, so this is reg test. Oh, I think they're just doing something here with the 304, 305, 306. I don't think these are actually the standard reg test ports. Okay, well, whatever. Let me see if that said anything on the page about test. Nope. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to lock that in. Okay, dash.conf. And then I'm going to move... Oh, whoops. That needs to get out of here anyway. Let's go back to dash core utils. Okay. dash service install. Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. It's happening. Can't stop it now. Okay. Uh-oh. My internet's just paused again, I think. Did I put the OpenRC file in here? I don't think I did yet. We'll have to do that later. All right, how to run the dash-daemon. Generally, you'll want to install dash-daemon as a system service. -d for historical reasons, -d and -qt have potentially dangerous defaults and are not Let's see here. These scripts, run them with options more similar to what you Generally, you want to install the Dash daemon as a system service. Okay. Okay, let me get back over here and see how I ran this. Oh, apparently I need to fix that. Okay, dash core utils. Let's get this back in here. Let's see, how did I do this over here? Okay, that was just dash core, dash core. I'm going to go check on something real quick to see what I named this, just to give a good name that's representative of the names that we're actually likely to use. So there's my storage volume. Let's see, disks. No. That's strange. 1 of 3 monitors are down. I have to take a look at that later. Huh. Yeah, okay. let's see. Wait, oh, did I copy the wrong thing? It's possible. Dashd conf wallet dir. Data, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and then I need to look at what was the help output on that. There we go. That's a little better. All right, there we go. let's see. So the dash core utils. Actually, I think I had a better idea for this one. Where should the example file go? Maybe not. Let's see. I feel like that actually should go into the dash core bit, but at the same time, that doesn't run every time, whereas this does. Dash-D does not have... Does it have dash version? Okay, it does. Qt does not. Alright, that looks good. So pretty much always try to create the directory. So -D actually just becomes a cheat sheet. Well, so try to create that. Move the correcting the permissions to the end. That's always the last thing that gets done, no matter which of these it is. It's the very last thing. Yeah. Okay, this will work. Okay, so now all of the utility functions. There's -d. There's -core. And there's -core utils. All the utility functions are in -core utils. So -d is more pure, -core is more pure. So I can change this. And I just put down here the note. Good. So what okay. Do I have... Let me try this. All right, so let's have... a little bit of this. We won't do sudo command. That won't be necessary. Let's see, do I need in place or can I just do a pipe? Should it be dash.example.conf or example.dash.conf? going with dash.example.conf. Final answer. Going to go with dash core utils dash.example.conf. We're going to get rid of all of the echo. Let me see if there's been any feedback here. Nope. Did we get any feedback on that issue? None. All right, so we're just going to roll with it. Okay, so here we're going to replace RPC. All right, there we go. All right. I think we're ready again. Move convenient scripts to dash core utils. There we go. Okay, what else do I need to do? Oops. That should take us to -2, yeah? $39 gigs. All right. All right. So now I think we're in a good place to start over here. So let's do -d. And that gets us the latest version of Dash. And then let's see what happens if we do help is not writable. Not what I was expecting. Let's take another look. Test. Ah, okay. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Oh, I think I know what I did actually. Did I use a double equals? I did. Alright, that's my problem. Oh, would be show 3.7. Huzzah! That looks good. All right, let's test. There we go. Alright, that looks like that's working, which is amazing. Oh, except that's not working. Okay, let's see if I can figure out what's going on there. Oh, there we go. That's why. That didn't work out because it literally had the wrong thing. So it looks like there's one more bug there. All right, that looks good. Now got everything figured out. And it's deployed. All right. All right, I'm going to put this up. Okay. Alright, there's a couple things I need to make note of real quick. So for this, confirmed, RPC bind should be 19998. And RPC bind here should be 19898. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and try this out. This is probably not going to have any balance at all, which is fine. Okay, so I might need to restart that one. Wait, that's weird. Shouldn't this have that? So let's try this. 20,009. It's interesting. This is very confusing because I'm seeing both this 0009 thing going on, or is this main test net? Okay, let's go ahead and publish this. Okay. That makes sense. Did -d quit? Oh, it has to upgrade the database, I think. I'm not sure. Okay, reading. Oh, that RPC allow might need to be in there as well. No, that's in there. RPC bind, RPC allow. All right, where is... Cleaning. Did I get it wrong? Just really confused here. Oh, righto, righto. I got it, I got it. I see what happened here. I was the wrong user. let's just keep the password and the user the same. Loading block index, great. No information available for that address. Fine. Well, that doesn't seem right. This seems like a bunch of lame sauce. Sauce is just getting really lame. Okay, 11.5.101. Alright, what else did I mess up on this? That's weird. Okay, this seems a little weird. Okay, RPC connect. No information available for address. How can this be possible? I guess it could be possible if that's just a junk address, but there should be some information available. I wonder... what if I just did this instead? Oh no! Address index not enabled. You gotta be flippin' kidding me. Oh. Can't believe that stuff's off by default. Okay, no wonder it's not taking up very much space. Only 40 gigabytes. The indexes weren't turned on. Ah. What was it doing all that time then? What is this? Okay. Alright, what I have to do is to run all of this with reindex. And I might as well blow this one away. Let's see. Alright, so we got rid of the service file, we got rid of the data file, we got rid of the config, we got rid of the scripts, we got rid of the binaries. So, start this over again. Let me see if I can find that. I might even have it here actually. Dash. Conf. So what? No, that's not the one I want because that's the one that I created. And I want to see what their examples look like. That would, what? Let's not show anything about indexing. TX index. Spin index. Address index. So which ones do I have? Address index, timestamp index, spin index. Why is there basically no documentation on this? Okay, address index, spent index, timestamp index. Oh. Interesting. So TX index is on by default. Okay. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like is missing one, or what happened there? All right. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to call this quits once I have... Let's see, we're going to start this. I'm actually going to check and see what does CPU and RAM usage look like right now. It's not too bad on that one at least. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so this one is completely fresh. And this one is not completely fresh. See where... Oh crap, did I just kill that? I did. Yeah. Sucksores. Okay, so this is no longer a clean example of blocks, rev, and then BLK. Ugh. So it's gonna have to. It's gonna rewrite 120 megabytes a piece. Looks like. All right. Well, all right. The next one we will be doing. I guess I gotta wait a while because now it turns out that I don't actually have the things that I thought that I had. So I gotta wait for all this synchronization and whatnot to happen. All this re-indexing. Yeah, so I guess I have to wait this out because everything has to be re-indexes, because apparently I thought the index, because I think the Qt version, I think the indexes are enabled by default, so I don't know why -d the indexes are not enabled by default. That seems kind of weird, considering that if you want to, I mean, I guess if all you want to do is broadcast a transaction, then you don't need the indexes, but don't you need to be able to look up information about addresses and transactions, generally speaking? Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Okay, I'm off for now. It is closing up on dinner time anyway, and I have one other task that I need to do related to something else. So, adios.